Alright, I'm gonna get right into it. I switched from controller to keyboard and mouse 10 months ago. So in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys my 10-month progression from controller to keyboard and mouse. I'll be showing you guys the very beginning of my journey all the way up to today and how I was able to progress at such a fast rate. Just so everyone's on the same page here, I'm gonna show you guys what 2 years on controller looked like in my case. All the clips you see up on screen right now are from the very last few days of me playing Fortnite on controller. This was around chapter 2, season 1 and 2. My building was not the best and the same went for my editing. As you might have guessed, my aim was actually pretty good though because I was a controller player during the prime of controller aim assist. I mean, I don't really have to go into much detail. Everyone remembers the old legacy aim assist.
Rock so bad.
Dude, you talk, just running in, killing 50 bosses, doesn't even understand what's...
Something that definitely held me back on controller is that I never warmed up in creative or anything. If I even ever did warm up, it'd be a crappy warm up that only was like 10 minutes and didn't have any building in it. I basically would only practice my editing. So as a result, my building was absolutely terrible and I only knew how to do 90s. Another thing that definitely held me back was that I never played with paddles or used claw. Those definitely would have helped me out, but it would have never compared to the skill I now have on keyboard and mouse in only 10 months. Like I mentioned earlier, I was playing Fortnite on controller for about 2 years, and as a result, the game got pretty boring for me since I felt like I was skill capped. I ended up quitting Fortnite around May, and I eventually came back later around late November. As you would expect, since I didn't play controller for about 5 months, and I didn't play Fortnite in total for about 5 months, I just became super washed on controller, just like Unknown Army. I've always knew that keyboard and mouse was the better input, so at that exact moment, I decided to make the full switch. It was basically a no-brainer for me since I had nothing to lose on controller since I was already washed. Now that you guys have a pretty good idea of my entire backstory, it's now the time you've all been waiting for. How good have I got on keyboard and mouse in only 10 months? In order for everyone to be on the same page here, I'm gonna give a quick backstory of what I did at the beginning of my progression. Starting it off with day 1, I did what anyone would do and I just practiced my free building. As you can see with the footage up on screen right now, I practiced basic building techniques such as 90s. Practicing 90s when you first switch is super important because it helps you to learn all your new building keybinds. I mean, obviously no one is going to be doing face sway level retakes when they first switch. As you would expect, since it was my first ever day on keyboard and mouse Fortnite, I messed up a little bit on my 90s, but that's completely normal. To be honest, my 90s were pretty good and pretty consistent for my very first day on keyboard and mouse. A lot of that came down to the fact that my keybinds were super comfortable for me to press and I got super used to them quickly. One of the most important things when switching to keyboard and mouse is making sure you spend a lot of time choosing optimal and comfortable keybinds. If you guys are interested in what my settings are, make sure to watch it to the end of the video because I mentioned them later. Anyways, getting back to day 1, I continue to practice my building, but this time in tunneling form. I messed up while doing my tunneling quite often, but honestly, as I practiced them more and more, my tunneling got pretty good. It was hard for me to get this side-to-side movement while building, but eventually I got pretty good at doing it. However, there was still so much room for improvement, which you guys will be seeing later in this video. Once I felt like my building was pretty good, I decided to move into my editing. I decided to practice my editing in some edit tunnels. I practiced doing a simple wall and stair edit over and over again. As soon as I got pretty comfortable at doing this, I moved on to edit towers. I did this to practice a different form of my editing, just like I did with my building. However, now I actually think there are a lot better maps you can use for practicing your editing when you first switch. I'll be showing you guys that exact map super soon. When you first switch to keyboard and mouse, it is super important to spend a lot of time in creative because that's where you learn all your mechanics, aim, and everything else. Without creative, trust me, your switch to keyboard and mouse will be pretty rough. Mainly what I'm getting at here is that it's super important to build your muscle memory for keyboard and mouse in creative. As you guys saw, I was pretty decent at the game without any pressure, but look how bad I was when I had pressure on me. In this fight, you can see that my opponent was really bad, but I was honestly just as bad as him. I started to panic a lot in fights and I just got completely nervous. As a result, everything I learned in creative, like 2 to 3 hours of practice, just got thrown out the window. The reason I'm mentioning this is because it's super common for people that switch to keyboard and mouse to get super nervous in fights, so don't worry if it's happening to you. Hopefully, these tips and tricks I'm about to give you will not only help you with your keyboard and mouse journey, but also just making you more comfortable with keyboard and mouse in general. So when you first switch to keyboard and mouse, many people just have no idea what they should be doing or what they should be practicing. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm going to be showing you guys an edit map that is super useful. So the editing map I'm talking to you guys about is Raiders Crosshair Placement Training Map. Instead of doing the basic edit course, you edit only one build over and over again. As you guys can see, there are different red markings on the walls indicating for where you have to edit. Some of them are red circles or some of them are also red lines. As you guys can see with the video footage up on the screen right now, you actually edit the wall over and over again super fast, and this causes your hands to get super warmed up. Make sure that when running through this map, you're moving around the place a lot so you're editing at a bunch of different angles. Doing this simple yet efficient editing map will take you only about 10 minutes. Moving into the next map, and arguably one of the most important ones, we have the Crank Simulator Infinity. Many huge pros such as Mr. Savage use this map every day to warm up. The reason this free build map is so much better than other ones is because you can technically free build forever. Whenever you reach the height limit, you'll be teleported all the way back to the start and all the builds will break and you can automatically start building right again. Whenever you reach the height limit, you'll be automatically teleported all the way back down, and from there you can automatically start building because all the builds will break immediately without you even pressing a button. This way you can just keep on free building forever. Also, if you fall off your free build, it will automatically teleport you back to the starting point, meaning you save a lot of time. As you can see, this creative map definitely has a lot of stuff going on, and it's not just one of those empty water maps. This means that the map is actually going to have a little bit of input delay just like BHE, but this is actually a good thing if you're trying to become a good arena player. This map will help you get used to all the input delay that is natural in arena. It is better to practice with a little bit of input delay, that way when you get into arena your builds don't feel completely off. There's literally no point of practicing quadruple edits in a zero input delay creative map if you cannot even do them in arena. Moving on into the most underrated thing in Fortnite, we have the aim training. I know this is probably one of the most boring practices for a lot of you guys, but it's probably one of the most important things in Fortnite. You have to ask yourself at some point, what is more important, 30 minutes of quadruple editing or just 10 minutes of aim training? If you thought aim training was more important, then you were correct. You use your aim in literally every single fight no matter what. Since aim is super important in Fortnite, I spent a lot of time looking for the best creative aim training maps, and the one I came up with was aim duels. Since having good aim in Fortnite is super important, I spent a lot of time looking for the best creative aim training maps. The one I saw the most improvement in were aim duels. The reason I find this map so beneficial is because it is so realistic. As you guys can see, you aim duel against real players instead of just shooting at some random targets. This means that all the tracking and flicking that you practice in these aim duels is the exact same in arena. Another reason I really like this map is because of all the different scenarios that it has. There are over 30 different scenarios that you can practice your shotgun flicking, SMG tracking, AR tracking out of air, and other things too. Like I said earlier, aim training doesn't even have to be that long, at least 10 minutes I would recommend though. I learned that in order to become good on keyboard and mouse, you have to aim train, and I learned this the hard way. For the entire first month of my keyboard and mouse progression, I did not aim train at all. So as you would expect, my aim suffered a lot. However, as soon as I started aim training in my second month of keyboard and mouse, I saw a huge improvement in my aim. Not only was my aim more consistent, but I also was hitting for more damage. The last map we're going to be talking about is also my favorite one, and it's Raider's Peace Control map version 3. I know that a lot of these maps are from Raider, and what can I say, he just has really good maps. Some of you guys already know about this map, so I'm just going to give a quick explanation about it. I'm going to be talking about version 3, but if you use version 1 or 2 of this map, it's completely fine. So as soon as you load in, you will see about 15 or 16 different scenarios. As you would expect, all these are based around different peace control scenarios. The reason I like this map so much is because I always find myself using this peace control in arena a lot. Now we're going to be getting into everyone's favorite part where I show how good I've got on keyboard and mouse in only 10 months. So for my warm-up, I've just been using the maps I just showed you guys. Other than practicing that warm-up routine, your boy Vermax has just been grinding arena. Last season, I ended on 69k arena points, and this season, I'm already at 11k arena points. I stream my entire arena grind live on Twitch every day at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm always reading chat, so if you ever have any questions you want to ask me, make sure to ask them in my Twitch chat. My Twitch will be the first link in the description. If you join the Twitch chat, make sure to type Apple so I know you came from this video. Getting back to arena, I've just been W king and trying to get into a lot of fights. However, that does not mean I just mindlessly push any fights. I try to play angles and I don't just hop in players' boxes trying to do a 50-50. With the clips up on screen right now, I hope you can see just how good my peace control has gotten. I've spent a lot of time perfecting my peace control in Raider's peace control maps. With my entire progression, there's only one thing I regret, and it's not switching earlier. I wish that I switched during the OG days, or at least at the beginning of chapter 2. Take it from me, stop waiting to switch, you'll definitely regret not switching. I always get asked in my Twitch chat if people think they should switch, and my answer is obviously yes. I guarantee that if you practice and train correctly with the right mindset, you can definitely be better on keyboard and mouse than you were on controller. When you first switch at the beginning, it might be a little difficult or demotivating, but in the long run, it will be well worth it. Every single pro in Fortnite was in the exact same position as you. One thing to remember when switching to keyboard and mouse is to not constantly change your keybinds. This will take a huge toll on your switch. Again, make sure to follow my Twitch. I stream every day at 4 p.m. Eastern time, which is about 9 p.m. Europe time. I grind arena, play with viewers, and sometimes every once in a while, I'll host a money tournament. So make sure to stop by. First link in the description, by the way. This video took a super long time to record, so if you have a little bit of time you can spend, please drop a quick sub. You can unsub at any time, and we're super close to 60k subs right now. It would truly be appreciated. Also, make sure to drop a quick like on this video. Let's see if we can get 5k likes. Early in the video, I said I'd show you guys my settings, so make sure to click on the video right here where I do an in-depth guide of my settings. Anyways, with all that being said, my name has been Vermax. Stay safe and take care.